I'm Jill Baird. Thank you for joining me for today's functional strength and cardio workout. This is a circuit-based workout. We're going to start with a warm-up. We'll end with a cool down, and we'll have 3 circuits in between. Each circuit will consist of 4 exercises, 3 upper body focused strength exercises, and 1 cardio move. I will offer modifications throughout the workout, but as always, you do you. You listen to your body. We've only got one body, and the reason that we're here working out is to keep it strong and working for a long time, not to injure it. You're going to need dumbbells for this workout. I have 2 sets. I'm using 10s and 12s, but you use what's right for you. You're going to want a mat. We will be down on the ground for a few exercises, and I suggest having some water handy. We'll have about a minute to rest and recoup in between circuits, so that's a great time to drink water. Go ahead and get your music going. I suggest playing music maybe from your phone onto a Bluetooth speaker, streaming the workout from an iPad, a TV, or a computer. I have a Spotify account. I've linked it below. I have so many different playlists, anything you could think of, really. So go on there if you don't have your own music and find something that motivates you. And I think that's it. I think it's time to get this party started. So for our warm-up, we're going to do 12 different exercises, 30 seconds each with 10 seconds in between, just because that's the same time circuit as the rest of the workout. So I'm going to hit the timer. We're going to have 30 seconds for this first move, and then I'll just guide us move to move. So the first move is just a standing march. We're going to drive opposite knee and opposite hand up, keeping your tailbone pointing down towards the ground, your chest tall and proud. And as you start to warm, you can lift the knee a little bit higher or make the march a little bit faster. Taking some nice deep inhales and exhales here. All right, our next move is going to be a side-to-side step with some arm circles. So as we step side to side, we're just going to start to make some circles with our arms, hugging the shoulder blades in like there's an imaginary pencil between them. You can start to make the circles bigger, but keeping those shoulders hugging down and back. And then we'll start to go in the opposite direction. So you can start with those small circles and then just start to make them a little bit bigger. Taking in those nice deep breaths, breathing oxygen in for our muscles. All right, for the next move, we're going to come to the back of our mat for a walkout. So with an inhale breath, extend your arms up towards the ceiling, drop your shoulders down and back. Bend your knees, hinge from your hips, bring your belly towards your thighs, and then walk yourself out into a plank. Hold the plank for a breath, and then walk back, bend your knees, roll up 1 vertebra at a time, reach the hands up, and repeat. Hinge the hips, push the butt way back, belly towards the thighs, maybe walking out with the opposite hand this time. And as you start to get warmer, you can go faster and begin to keep your legs straight. All right, we're going to come to the back of the mat into a squat position. I'm going to keep my hands on the tops of my feet, on my shoelaces. Chest lifted, butt down. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, begin to straighten your legs into a forward fold. Again, inhale as you squat down, chest lifts, butt draws towards the ground. And then exhale as you begin to straighten into those legs. Oh, it feels so good in the hamstrings. So looking forward as you come down into that squat, tucking your chin towards your chest. Okay, we're going to walk ourselves out into a plank for the world's greatest stretch on the right. So I'm going to step my right foot up to the outside of my right hand. Your left knee can be lifted or down on the ground, and then bring either your right hand or your right elbow to the inside of the right foot, and then peel open from the mid-back into a twist. Lifting the back of that extended leg if the knee isn't bent. And I'm really thinking about rotating from your midsection, not your low back. All right, bring the right hand down, step the right foot back, and do the same thing on the left side. So step the left foot up to the outside of the left hand. Keep your chest drawing forward like there's a string on the wall in front of you, pulling your chest forward. And then again, right knee down or right knee lifted. And then you're bringing either your elbow or your palm to the inside of the left foot. And it really is the world's greatest stretch. You can't argue with that. It feels so good on the hips. Exhaling as you peel open, inhaling as the hand of the elbow comes down to the mat. Okay, we're going to come into a high plank hold. So shoulders over wrists, spread all 10 fingers nice and wide. Press the mat away from you, and you're going to tilt your pubic bone up towards your face. Press through your heels towards the wall behind you, firming everything up, drawing those low ribs down towards your hip points. And then find a spot to focus on. And just breathe. Feel all those muscles in your arms, your chest, your upper back, firing up. We're only here for 1 more second. Okay, come down into a tabletop. So again, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Pull your belly button back, in and up. And on the bell, we're gonna lift our knees about 1 inch or 2 to hover away from the mat. So think about lifting that squat between your shoulder blades up towards the ceiling as you pull your belly button back towards your spine. And with each exhale, your pelvic floor and your core are going to tighten. Fiona, go lay down on your bed. Fiona, go lay down on your bed. All right, and we're gonna walk ourselves back. And we're gonna come into a wide stance, so all 10 toes facing forward. We're gonna come into some Cossack squats, so just bending into the right knee, coming back through center, bending into the left. Really pressing into the heel of the foot where the knee is bent. Again, chest is really long and proud, like there's a string coming from your screen or the TV, whatever, to the chest, pulling it back in front. Dog. I put her bed over there, but apparently she wants to stand in front of the video. Okay, we're going to come into some lateral lunges to the right. So I'm going to take a big step out to my right, bend my right knee like I'm coming into a squat in that right leg, and come back to center. So we're going to do this move again in our workout with weights. So I want us to have it nice and perfected in the warm-up. So I'm squeezing that right butt cheek as I come up and bring my right foot in to meet my left. If you had a logo or something on the front of your shirt, I would be able to see it. You're not hunching down towards the ground. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing on the left. So we're gonna take a big step out to the left, bend into the left knee, press into the left heel, squeeze the left glute, and come up to stand. So I'm getting a really nice stretch on my right inner thigh while I work my left glute, left quad. Inhaling as you step out, exhale as you do the work and come through center. All right, we have one more move in our workout, and it's just gonna be some W's. So standing feet hip width distance apart, slight tuck under in the pelvis, and then pull the elbows down into your side. Inhaling as you lift, and as you exhale, the pelvic floor draws up and your low ribs draw in and down. But don't let your front ribs spiral open when you reach your hands over your head. Imagine that they're knitted together the entire time. We're just fine-tuning it a little bit more with the exhale. All right, and that is our warm-up. So the first circuit in our workout is going to be jumping jacks, bicep curls with a reverse lunge, a chest press, and a bridge with a skull crusher. I'm going to use my 12s for all of the exercises in that circuit, but you go ahead and get your dumbbells. I'm going to move my 12s just off the mat. We're going to start with a cardio move, so make sure that there's no equipment around you. We're going to start with a jumping jack. So a modification for a jumping jack is just a side-to-side step if you aren't jumping today. And then, of course, if you are jumping the feet out wide, keeping the core engaged the entire time. And you can do maybe some boxer shuffles here. We have 8 seconds until we're going to start with those jumping jacks. And I'm going to suggest that we do front and lateral jacks. So join me. We'll do a traditional jumping jack, and then we bring our hands up to the center and press down. Alternating the top hand and the bottom hand each time you come through center. Go ahead and grab those dumbbells for a reverse lunge with a bicep curl, shoulders down and back into their sockets, palms facing in, step back, curl at the bottom, press through the front heel, come up to stand. So making sure that the legs, or the feet rather, are on railroad tracks and not a tightrope to give us some more stability in that lunge. And then keeping your shoulders stacked over your hips and keeping the front knee stacked over the ankle. And this is a very controlled movement with the bicep curl. So for the next move, we're going to be down on the ground for a chest press. So I'm going to keep my feet flat on the ground, elbows 90 degrees, and then press the butts of the dumbbells up towards one another, and then create some additional tension in your chest by slowing the dumbbells as they come in towards one another. So creating that additional chest press. Inhaling as you lower, exhale as you press, and then keeping the low portion of the move very controlled. Okay, our final move is a bridge with a skull crusher, so feet hip-width distance apart. Keeping that bridge, or you can come up and down into the bridge. Elbows stacked directly over your shoulders. Triceps doing the work here to bring the hands and the dumbbells over the elbows and over the shoulders. You don't want to constrict your throat. Imagine there's like a little, I don't know, walnut or golf ball between your chin and your chest. Okay, so those are our 4 moves for the first circuit. We're back to the front and lateral jacks. So, one traditional jumping jack, and then a front jack. You go a little faster, but you can. And it's almost like a crunch as the hands come down in front. All right, grab the dumbbells. Reverse lunge, bicep curl. Standing up nice and straight and tall. And if it's too much to curl at the bottom, you can curl at the top and have the weights down by your side as you step back into the lunge. Personal preference. It's a little bit more difficult if you curl at the bottom. Make sure that your core stays engaged and that your shoulders stay stacked over your hips. Chest proud. All right, we're back to our chest presses. You can keep your feet flat on the ground, or you can bring your knees into a tabletop to engage your core a little bit more here. Inhale, lower for a count of 2 or 3. Exhale, press. Draw the butts of the dumbbells in towards one another. Feel that core engage as you exhale and press the dumbbells over your chest, not over your face. Okay, bridge with a skull crusher. So feet hip width distance apart, knees tracking directly over the middle toes, elbows over shoulders. Bring those dumbbells just to barely touch your skull. So they're called skull crushers, because if you were to let it fall back down onto your skull, it would undoubtedly do some damage there. Exhaling as you lift, inhaling as you lower with control. Keep your tailbone drawing towards the backs of your knees. Keep that low back safe. All right, we have one more time through that circuit. Let's make it the best since we are experts now. That core engaged. This one's going to give you a little pat. All right, reverse lunge bicep curl last time. Keeping that front glute engaged, squeezing the front glute as you press through the front heel to come back up to standing. All right, last one of those, into the chest press. So if you'd like to make this even more difficult, you can bring your legs out into a hollow hold. Make sure that that low back stays glued to the mat. Always having the option to bend the knees or bring the feet flat onto the mat. This circuit is our bridge with the skull crusher. Elbows directly over the shoulders, and you want to make sure that the elbows are tracking forward, they're not splaying out to the side. Maybe you can lift the front of your hips just a little bit higher this time. Pelvic tilt so that the low, or the hip points rather, and the low ribs have less space between them than they would if you were just standing up straight and tall. Woo, really beginning to feel that in the backs of my arms. All right, so now we have a minute between that circuit and our next circuit. Great opportunity to get some water. I'm going to demonstrate the circuit in the minute. You can join me as I demo the moves, or you can do a boxer shuffle, hold a plank, do some jumping jacks. So the first move in our circuit is going to be a side skate. So hopping from foot to foot. So option tap the foot behind or float it. And if that doesn't work for you, lateral downs. The next move, I'm gonna grab my 10s, and it's an Arnold press, elbows bent 90 degrees, palms face in, and I press up. For the third move, I am going to use my 12 pounds, and it's gonna be a lateral lunge, just like in our warm-up, and we're gonna pull the dumbbell across the chest. We'll do 30 seconds on the right, 30 seconds on the left. All right, so we're gonna start with those side skates at the bell. Here we go. Make sure that you come up high in the center and get low as your foot makes contact, sitting back into that heel. High in the center, low, really work that glute, outer hip, and of course, work our cardiovascular system. Okay, grab your 10s. Coming into that Arnold press, core is engaged. So as I press up, my palms face out, and as I come back to 90 degrees, my palms face in. No curving in the low back. If you're curving in the low back, you can either switch to lower weights or really make sure that that tailbone is drawing down and the front core is engaged. All right, go ahead and grab your 12. I'm going to step my right foot out, which is going to look like the left to you because I'm mirroring you. So the dumbbell is in my left hand. Pull it up and back. If you can touch the ground with the dumbbell, you can touch, but you have to keep your chest lifted. If your chest starts to go down towards the ground, only lower the dumbbell, maybe to the inside of your calf. Remember, it's like a squat in the leg that steps out and a stretch for the inner thigh on the leg that stays straight. Okay, switching it out. Now I have the dumbbell in my right hand. I'm going to step my left leg out into that lateral lunge squat and pull with my elbow. It's called a lawnmower row, right? Like with a old time manual lawnmower you would pull. I think it's called the choke. I don't know. It's a string with a little plastic attachment that you pull. Squeeze the left glute as you press through the left heel to stand. I really feel this in my outer quad, my hamstring, and my glute. Okay, make sure those dumbbells are out of the way. Skater lunges or skater hops, round 2. If you want to make it a little bit more difficult, you can touch the ground and then you really have to press off of that heel. So as you come down, make sure that you're sitting down and back and that the weight is in the front heel. Squeezing the glute as we blast off. Again, chest nice and lifted. I can read that logo on your shirt. I can see the smile on your face, okay? Round 2, Arnold presses. If you'd like to make this a little bit more difficult, you can actually come down to your knees. Tuck your tail under, palms face in, palms face forward. Squeezing the backs of those shoulder blades together. At the top, open your chest. So I'm really tucking my tailbone down and pressing the fronts of my hips forward. If it's too much up and down for you to come down here on your knees, you don't need to, you can do it standing. Squeeze your butt. Okay, grab that single dumbbell, whichever one you're using, for the lateral lunge mower pull. I'm going to show you a progression to make this a little bit more spicy. As you pull and come up, we're going to balance on the standing leg. But way back, weight back in my right heel because that's my knee that's bending. I'm working my chest, my shoulder, my core, and and my balance here. Remember pulling with the elbow. Okay, switch hand and foot. To balance again. You're gonna see one side might be totally different than the other. Completely normal. So my suggestion is the leg or the side of the body that seems less stable, going forward, start with that side. Exhaling through that whole move as I press through the left heel and draw the right elbow up and across, squeezing both butt cheeks as I come up to stand. Okay, third and final round, side skates. You can do whatever you want. You can touch the ground, you can hover the foot, you can try to hover the foot and touch the ground, or lateral bounce fast if the side skates aren't for you. Oh, I almost tipped over. You guys, I'm sorry that the dog is in the screen. I put her bed out here hoping she would comply, but she's 12 and she's set in her ways. And between you and me, I think she's a cat. Because our other dog does whatever you tell her to do. All right, palms in, press up for that Arnold press. So open the chest, elbows out like goalposts, and then squeeze the chest as you bring it in. Really squeezing my inner thighs, pressing my hips forward. All right, on to those lateral lunge mower pulls. I'm going to continue with the balance movement. Dumbbells in my left hand, I'm stepping my right leg out. Hug both outer hips in towards each other to stabilize as you come up. So I'm working my core, my front core and my side core. And of course, the butt, quad. Okay, switch hands, switch legs. Last time here, and then we get a minute to rest while I demo the last circuit. It's a quick one today. So the next time you come back and do this workout, maybe you can increase the weights you're using, since it is only 30 seconds of work each round. Squeeze that left glute. Okay, we have a minute before our next circuit. I'm going to grab a quick sip of water. You do the same. And then I'm going to demo our 4 moves. So our cardio move is side to side punches. You can step it or you can really hop it. Pull the elbows into your side as you punch across the body. Then we're going to come down and do a high plank for some slow mountain climbers. Tapping opposite knee to opposite tricep. Then our third move, we're going to lower all the way down. Untuck your toes, extend your arms long, and we're going to do swimmers or opposite arm leg raises. And then our final move, I'm going to use my 12-pound dumbbells, is a hinged underhand row. So palms facing up. Okay, let's get ready. Punch. Stepping, if you're looking for something a little bit more low impact. Otherwise, it's a hop and a pivot. Keeping the spine nice and long punching. Keep your face protected with the fist that isn't punching. Okay, coming down into that high plank. Stacking shoulders over wrists. All 10 fingers spread nice and wide. Tucking your pubic bone up towards your nose. Exhaling as you cross the knee to the elbow. Pulling up the pelvic floor. Drawing the top ribs down. And if you're looking for something a little bit more spicy, please feel free to take this into a full mountain climber run. Up to you. Remember, make it yours. If this is too much, you can do it standing. Just crossing opposite knee to opposite elbow. Sorry, I'm out of breath. Come down to your belly, untuck your toes, extend your arms long, and lift. Opposite palm and opposite foot. Keep your belly button pulled back. Imagine there's a little thumbtack underneath your belly. If you want to make it harder, you keep all the hands and feet, all of them like an octopus, hovering. If you want to make it a little bit less intense on the low back, the hand and foot that aren't lifting are resting on the ground while the other is lifting. All right, those bent over underhand rows. So it's that hinged move, butt back, spine long, draw your elbows up, squeeze your shoulder blades together, palms face forward. Core is nice and engaged. Exhale as I squeeze, and inhale as I lower with control. So you want to think about drawing those elbows right along your ribs, and then how high up can you get those elbows as you squeeze those shoulder blades together. And that, my friends, was the first round of the last circuit. So we're back to those side-to-side punches. Get those elbows in, close to your side. Punch across the body. This should get the heart rate up nice and high. Go a little faster. Maybe hop down a little lower. Punching for that punching bag right in front of you. Remember, snap that elbow back into your spine body. Okay, back into that high plank for that slow mountain climber or fast, if that's what's on the menu for you today. Press the ground away. Try to tap that opposite knee above the opposite tricep. And I'm not crunching my whole body in. The only thing that's moving is my leg. Very controlled with my side body. Keep your chest and your gaze drawing forward. It's easy to look back at our toes, but there's nothing back there that we need and it doesn't help us. Okay, slowly lower, all the way down. For the opposite arm, leg swimmers. Extend the arms directly in front of the shoulders. Pull the low belly in. How high can you lift that opposite palm and that opposite heel? So you're feeling quite a bit of glute engagement as you lift the heel. And this is strengthening our backside body, which is part of our core and is so important to us for posture, balance, all those little muscles that run the length of the spine help keep us erect and help keep our low back safe. Okay, palms up, hinged row. So imagine you're squeezing something between your inner thighs, like a little Pilates ball or a yoga block. Press your heel and your toes into the mat. Spine stays long, chest stays lifted. Try to squeeze for 3, 2, 1, and lower for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, squeeze, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, lower, 3, 2, 1. Okay, final round of work of our workout. I can't believe we're here. Okay, remember it's those cross body punches. So we did a lot of lateral movement in our cardio exercises today because we do so much front to back movement every day, but in our everyday life, we do a lot of side to side movement, and it helps to strengthen our inner thighs, our outer glutes, and all those supporting muscles are so important to us. Okay, back to the last round of our slow mountain climbers. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a sweaty mess. So, draw the pubic bone up towards your chin, press the ground away, press through your heels, engage those quads, squeeze your glutes. A plank really is a total body move. And again, remember, you don't need to look back towards your toes. Look towards the edge of your mat or a little bit further in front. Woo, I'm breathing hard. Okay, slowly lower down. In my mind, I'm thinking, oh good, it's a break, but I know it's not. Opposite arm leg swimmers, go ahead and hover the feet and the arms, and then as you exhale, lift. Opposite arm, opposite heel. Keep the shoulders down your back and into their sockets. Don't let them creep up like earrings. Most important, keep that little space between your belly button and the mat. Keep your abs pulled in to support your low back. Okay guys, here is our final move. The underhand bent over row. So like you're holding some grocery bags or something important in your hands, your butt is closing the car door shut in that hinge. Exhale, lift quickly, hold for 3. Inhale, slowly lower for 3. Exhale, lift and hold for 3. Inhale, slowly lower for 3. Okay guys, that was killer. That was awesome. Go ahead and move your weights out of the way. And I hope that you can join me for a stretch. Stretching is so important. I'm going to lead us through a very deliberate series of stretches here. We're going to come down onto the mat in a child's pose. So go ahead and bring your big toes to touch at the back of the mat. Walk your knees wide. Sit your hips back onto your heels and go ahead and crawl your fingertips forward. But as you crawl your fingertips forward, again, think of guiding those shoulders down and back into their sockets. And just take 3 or 4 nice deep inhales and exhales here. Coming back to a regular rhythm of breath. Being proud of yourself for making it onto your mat, for doing your workout, for making your body strong. 1 more deep inhale. And on our exhale, we're going to walk both hands all the way over to the left. So my left ribs are brushing against my inner left thigh. I'm going to flip my right palm up, and I'm going to bend my right arm, bringing my right hand to the back of my right shoulder. It's just a nice deep tricep stretch for that right arm. Taking a couple slow, deep breaths here, thinking about guiding that breath into your body, into the back of that right arm, and down the whole right side body as well. Go ahead and strengthen or lengthen that right arm. And on an exhale, walk both hands over to the right. Sitting your hips back as far as you can, maintaining that connection between your left hip and your left glute. Go ahead and flip your left palm up to the ceiling this time, bending the left elbow and reaching the right hand to the back of the right shoulder. Taking some left hand. Taking some nice deep breaths into that left tricep, and then think about the breath coming in through the left elbow and just traveling up the arm, down the shoulder, and all the way through the left side body. And then go ahead and extend the left arm, walk your hands back to your center. Go ahead and come up into a neutral tabletop position. We're just going to take a few rounds of cat-cows here. So pull your belly button back towards your spine, drop your belly, loop the shoulder blades down and back, lift your chest, cat pose, inhale. Exhale, cat pose, press the earth away, tuck your chin towards your chest and draw your tailbone down towards the mat. Again, inhale as you undulate, drawing your chest forward, shoulder blades back, tail lifts. And exhale, cat, channeling that scaredy cat, pressing the earth as hard away from you as you can as your belly button reaches back towards your spine. One more round. Inhale, cow. Look up to the spot where the ceiling and the wall meet. And exhale, cat. Shift your gaze back towards your belly button. Coming back into that neutral tabletop, we're going to take a thread the needle. So extend the left arm up to the left, rotating from the core, the mid body, not the low back. And then as you exhale, you're just going to bring that left outer shoulder, left ear down to the mat. Go ahead and reach the right fingertips forward. And just take some slow, steady breaths here. You can experiment where you want that right hand. You can walk it over to the left. You can tuck it at your left hip crease. Just depends. We did a lot of upper body stuff today, so it's a nice stretch for those muscles we worked. And then wherever that right hand is, go ahead and bring it back underneath your right shoulder. Press into the right palm. Open up the left arm again. And then bring the left hand back into the left shoulder. Same thing. Inhale, reach the right fingertips up towards the sky. And as you exhale, thread the needle. Bringing that right shoulder, right ear to the mat. And then walking the left hand wherever feels right to you. So you want to twist, you can tuck it at the right hip crease, just really working on opening the chest up towards the ceiling. And then wherever you're at, go ahead and bring that left hand back underneath the left shoulder, pressing up, inhaling, coming back up into that open body twist. And then go ahead and bring the hands back to the mat. And let's walk them about a palm's distance in front of where they were. Tuck your toes and press your hips back towards your heels. And then on an exhale, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Taking some pedals here as you bend your left and your right knee. Slowing the breath. And then coming into some stillness. Again, take a deep bend in the knees. Lift your hips up towards the sky. Find that connection between your chest and your thighs. And then with that length, straighten into the legs. And on your next exhale, just gently walk your hands back towards your feet. You can just kind of ragdoll here for a moment in a forward fold. And then slowly roll your way up to standing. Give yourself a pat on the back. Thank you for working out with me, guys. I'd love to hear what you think. I'd love to hear what you'd like to see in your next workout. Drop me a message in the comments below. And have a wonderful rest of your day. I will see you next time.